While Shannon's passing out blocks and straps, I'm going to introduce her to you. Our instructor today is Shannon Basham, and after serving active duty in the U.S. Army for 5 years, Shannon completed a degree in liberal arts at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. She focused her studies on anatomy, physiology, fitness, nutrition, and gerontology, and she began her career as a personal trainer, but through her own struggles with stress, depression, and back pain led her to yoga. As Shannon's pain and anxiety subsided, she began to add breath work, posture awareness, and slow, deep stretching to her fitness training. And in 2009, under the guidance of integrated vinyasa teacher Gina Caputo, Shannon began her own journey to become a yoga teacher, even though she has really tight hamstrings. Shannon brings a love of service to her teaching, and she enjoys watching the transformation that occurs with regular practice. She's an ERYT 500. Her advanced yoga training was completed through Colorado School of Yoga, Gina Caputo, in 2013, and she holds certifications in restorative yoga from Judith Lassiter and chair yoga with specific yoga training for people living with MS and disabilities from Liz Franklin and Joanne Lyons. Shannon's been teaching people living with MS since 2011. Shannon is an ambassador for Veterans Yoga Project and has started 2 weekly classes at the Kansas City Vet Center. For the past 6 years, Shannon has taught yoga, meditation, and fitness classes at Stowers Institute for Medical Research, Fairway Parks and Rec, and at the University of Kansas Landon Center on Aging, in addition to her private students. There is a schedule in your packet as well for some of Shannon's classes that she teaches free for MS patients and their caregivers. Let's welcome Shannon. She's going to sit here. Hope you guys can see her. That's perfect.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for coming out today. Thanks for sticking around for chair yoga. I may be such a loudmouth, I may not need this. If you're finished eating and you want to join me, scooch back away from your chair so that you've got room that when you... So make sure you've got room for your arms so you don't hit your hand on the table. I don't want you to bruise your hands. And maybe even out to the side so you don't poke anybody next to you unless you want to. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. And give Courtney a big round of applause for helping coordinate all this. Yeah. And everyone else, all the other staff that's helping. And I especially want to thank Siva Wellness, who is sponsoring me and helped bring me in here today. So I know you just ate, so we'll save the upside down stuff and the really hard stuff for when your tummy's not full. And I'm just kidding. I've got 3 students here, and they will tell you we don't do anything too wild and crazy. And the most important thing that we're doing is breathing. And that sounds really corny, but we're just trying to enhance our breathing, get that oxygen in so it'll get to our cells and help us the best that it can. So if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it, except for the breathing part, okay? If you have a block, place your block in between your knees and turn your toes straight ahead. And you may notice as you go through life, as you're standing in line at the grocery store, at the post office, that people kind of walk around with their feet turned out, and everybody does that, even me. And so when we practice in our chair class, we like to practice on teaching our body to learn neutrality or learn some alignment just to counteract the way it likes to be all day. So bring your block between your knees and then look down at your toes. In my classes, if I have enough blocks, I put one between your feet to squeeze on and one between your knees, but I didn't want it to overdo it today. And then notice a lot of us tend to lean forward a little bit, especially if we're driving. When I said that, everybody went. So, and everybody does. We kind of lean forward when we're driving, when we're on our computers, when we're focused on chopping broccoli or whatever. So feel yourself, bring your hands down by your side, and shift your shoulders back over your hips. Squeeze your block and lift up through the heart. And when you lift up through the heart, feel your shoulder blades slide down. Maybe the shoulder blades draw together a little bit. And then you may have stopped breathing. Check in. Take some deep inhales and exhales. Now, the people that aren't squeezing the block, you're missing some of the work, but you're still pressing down into your feet. One more deep inhale. And then bring your hands to your kneecaps, or above your kneecaps, like you've got handles above your knees. It sounds weird, I know. Just stay with me. You're going to press into your feet, and at the same time you're gluing your feet down, you're going to try to lift your kneecaps, and you might start feeling your legs work a little bit more, almost like it's going to throttle you back. But you won't, because you got that block to squeeze and stop you. Good. Then lift up through the heart. Reach your arms forward a little more. See if you can slide your shoulder blades together. Good. And rotate your right wrist in one direction. Let's see, I'm going to do my left wrist and act like I'm your mirror. Good. Deep inhales and exhales, still sitting strong through the spine. You might start feeling back muscles waking up and talking to you. You should feel your legs working. If you're not, press a little harder into your feet. Good. Notice my head's trying to go forward. See if you can draw your ears back over your shoulders. Good. And then switch hands. Rotate the other hand. Deep inhales and exhales. So we're looking for that moment when our brain says, is she done yet? Did we finish? Because that moment when your brain says, I don't want to do this anymore, is when the muscles are starting to do the work. Before that, they know the routine. They're like, okay, I know this. But that place where your brain says, I want to put my arms down now, that next few breaths is where those muscles are going to get a little bit stronger. Good. One more deep inhale. Notice if you feel like you're leaning forward. See if you can shift your shoulders back. Exaggerate lifting up through the heart. Notice how that works your back muscles. Good. Then bring your hands to your shoulders. Keep squeezing your block and make an audible, yeah, just releasing some tension. Not your lunch, though. Good. One more deep inhale. Good. Then rest your hands on your lap. So when we were sitting had our arms here, up here, we're really working all the back muscles. If you slide your hands to the front of your knees, press your feet down and pull forward on your knees, it'll start waking up some muscles in the side of your body. I don't know if you can feel it. It took me a while to feel those. So sometimes when my teacher tells me something, I'm like, what is she talking about? That's weird. But if I practice it and keep thinking about what she said, that signal gets from my brain to the muscles and they start waking up. So feel maybe as you're pulling forward how you might feel some muscles on the side of your body wake up in the back of your body. And those are actually core muscles. I always thought, for 35 years, that these were my core muscles. And they are, but these are our core muscles too, your latissimus dorsi and your serratus anterior. So lift up a little more, good. So you can use your arms to help wake up those muscles when you feel your back getting tired. Mine's like that every Friday. I'm like, oh. So you can use your hands to kind of wake those muscles up. They call it recruitment. You're recruiting those core muscles. Then keep pressing your feet down. Reach both arms up. Good. Oh! Exhale down through the center line. Good. Inhale, reaching your arms up and over. Exhale down through the center line. See, you guys didn't even need me. One more deep inhale, reaching up. And exhale down through the center line. Good. Now bring your hands, set your block aside. Bring your hands to your knees. Give yourself a little knee massage. Just get the circulation running through there. Massage the sides and the back of your knees. And then bring your hands back forward. You're going to reach your heart forward, stretch your shoulders back, and then exhale. Round out. You can stick your tongue out. And that seems silly, but it's for a purpose. It's to help relax your jaw and your throat. And you're just moving through your range of motion. It shouldn't hurt or pinch. You're just moving your spine, getting that fluid moving through. And then reach forward again. Make sure your feet are solid in the floor. Make sure you're not too far on the edge of your chair. And make little circles, just little circles. Feel your feet press into the floor. Feel your hips steady in the chair. It should feel like your legs are working because you're pressing the feet down. If you feel stable, maybe make a little bit bigger circles, but please don't get too wild. In a smaller group, I can get over there quick, but good. You might close your eyes part way or all the way. When we close our eyes, we can feel things from the inside, from our internal landscape. Take a deep inhale and then move in the other direction. You can also round your spine a little bit. You can dunk one shoulder down and the other. You're massaging your hips, all the vertebrae of your spine, your shoulders. One more deep inhale. And the next time you shift forward, you can lean on your hands like you're on first base. Go Royals. You could come down to your elbows if that's okay for your back. And here you don't have to use any of your core muscles, so you can take really deep breaths. Allow your abdominal muscles to expand. If you feel okay, if you're not having any sinus or eye issues, you could relax your head down more and let your neck soften. And then really tune into those deep, expansive breaths. Allow your abdominal muscles to expand close to your legs there. Feel the back of your ribs expand. The sides of your ribs expand. Take the deepest inhale you've taken all morning. And then tuck your chin and slowly roll your way back up. Bring your block with you. If you have a block. If you don't, I'm sorry. But just think, wow, I'm getting out of a lot of work. Just know you're getting out of a lot of work if you're not using the block. Press your feet in the floor. Turn your toes straight, whether you have a block or not, just to teach yourself alignment. Good. Then sit up nice and strong. Shift your shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders. Good. And then bring your hands down by your side. Lift up strong through the spine. You're going to roll your shoulders forward and up and down and back and up and down. Good. Deep inhale, forward and up. You might hear some crunching. Good. And back and up. And you're just exploring your range of motion. Back and up and down. Good. One thing that yoga has really taught me is not to have expectations, just to explore and learn each time. One more, reach your shoulders back and up. And then rest your hands on your lap. Sit up nice and strong. So notice the longer we go through class, the more you may feel like, oh, I'm leaning forward because you get more tired. So you can use your hands to prop yourself back up. Good. Draw your chin in and look over your right shoulder. Take some deep inhales and exhales. Feel your feet pressing down into the floor. Feel yourself squeezing the block. And if your neck is tight on that left side, your left shoulder may start following you. So keep your shoulders nice and wide. And look with your eyeball muscles a little bit more. You're looking for a stretch in your neck, but it shouldn't hurt. Good. And notice when you look, with your eyeballs, you might feel a touch more stretch. Then look straight ahead. Release your arms down by your side and just do a few independent shoulder rolls. Deep inhales and exhales. You all still awake after lunch there? Check in with your toes. Make sure they're straight. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Press your hands into your legs. Lift up long through the spine. Feel all those back muscles waking up. Draw your chin in and look over your left shoulder. Keep pressing into the feet. Each inhale, feel the length in your spine from your tailbone to the top of your head. And each exhale, look with your eyeball muscles a little more like Salvador Perez walked through. No, don't spin your head off. One more deep inhale. Maybe it's Hosner that you want to see. Then look straight ahead, bring your arms down by your side, and do some independent shoulder rolls. And then check in, make sure your shoulders are over your hips, lift up through the heart, and this time bring your shoulders up by your ears, roll them forward and down, and then up, back, and down. And I said breathing was the most important, so inhale. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. A few more. Inhale, reaching up, forward and down. Inhale, up, back, and down. One more. Up, crunch, forward and down, up, back, and down. Good. Then place your hands on your lap. Sit up nice and strong, and close your eyes either part way or all the way, and just scan your body. Notice how you're feeling. I'm going to have to buy this if I'm not careful. One more deep inhale. And then if your eyes are closed, blink your eyes open and stretch your right leg out in front of you. And I know some of you are in chairs, so I'm going to show you, bring your right leg out. If you have a strap, wrap the strap around the ball of your right foot. I'm going to use my pseudo strap here. If you do not have a strap at home, you can use a towel or a tie or a scarf and just wrap it around your foot like that. Good. And put your right heel down. And I know with the foot drop that if you don't have a strap, your foot may be going down, okay? If you do have a strap, you're going to pull your toes back. If you don't, you can try to do that, but don't let it frustrate you if it's not working today. Feel yourself press your heel into the floor, lift up long through the spine, draw your abdominal muscles in, and reach your heart out and over your leg towards your big toe. And there'll be a moment when you start going like that, at least for me there is, and that's when you say, lift up, long, strong spine. Exhale, abdominal muscles hug in, keep pressing your heel. Make sure you're not locking your knee. I know sometimes with MS, people tend to overlock their knee, so maybe put a little bend in your knee to keep it from locking while you stretch. Good. One more deep inhale, lifting up. Push your heel to the floor. Good. And then hinge forward. And I can come help you with that. It's confusing. It's okay. You were doing it right. Just put your heel down there.
Okay.
And you keep it on the floor, and then press your heel into the floor as you reach your heart forward.
Oh, like that.
And then look, do you feel a stretch back there?
Yeah.
There you go. And that just pulls the toe back.
Oh, okay.
Good. And the reason why, I'll give you a brief anatomy lesson, is your hamstring. I'm trying to stretch you here or maybe back in here. So when your hamstring attaches under your knee and at your ischial tuberosity. So when you draw your toe back, it stretches your hamstring that way. And when we keep our spine long, it makes your ischial tuberosity go that way. So you're moving your hamstring in both directions, but you don't want to feel it behind the knee. So you bend your knee a little bit. Okay, let's switch sides. And remember, it's an exploration. So stretch your other leg out. Good. If you don't have a strap, bring your right hand to your heart. So I didn't say this. I'm a little nervous. My students will tell you I'm probably missing some of my important points that I usually. But when you're leaning forward, so we are stretching your legs, but I think of this as a leg stretch with my posture work because I need a lot of posture work. I'm like that a lot. Even though I'm a yoga teacher, it's like gravity's there every day, and we've got to work against it every day. So, yeah. So think of this as posture work with your leg stretch. 2 for the price of 1. So inhale, lengthen your spine. If you're using your hand instead of your strap, it's a nice reminder as you reach forward, you'll feel yourself round. You're still like, nope, I'm going to lengthen out. Try to draw your toes back. Press your heel into the floor. Notice where you feel the stretch. It may be different on this side. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, reach forward. Notice if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to reach down and touch my toes. Pretty common in our ego-driven society. One more deep inhale, but it's not what it looks like, it's what you're feeling. And if you let yourself round, you're going to stretch your back like we do every day and make more of that. And we're trying to make more of this. Does that make sense? Good. At least once a day, work on our posture. Good. Then go ahead and release. Bring your left leg back to meet the right and do the Charleston. And set your legs. Go back and forth. Good. And then another favorite. So one of the favorites is those circles and the leaning forward. But I think another favorite for my students is we call it the why not. And we just lay back in our chairs like that. Oh. Why not? Because when you're sitting up like that, your back muscles, if you're really doing all these things I'm talking about, you're like, oh my gosh, my back is getting tired. So see if you can bring your right leg in towards your body. These chairs may not allow it. Don't hit your knee on the table. And you can use a strap or use somebody's strap. Rotate your hip in one direction. Good. That's signaling the cells in your hip joint to make more cells go the other way. And it's a ball and socket joint, so you want to keep that range of motion that you've got. Good. And then switch sides. Bring your other leg up. Do a few hip rotations. This one's really nice when you're laying down at night in bed. You can hug your leg in and just rotate your hip, and it feels good. And it'll stretch some of the muscles in your hip and in your low back. Good. And you're also getting some arm work there, too, in case you didn't notice. I don't tell you everything. I don't want you to get too much work. Okay, go ahead and come forward again. Sit up nice and strong. Notice how you're feeling. Just scan your body. And your food isn't completely digested yet, so you won't get the full effects of this, but we'll still talk about it. I tried to wait a little while. Usually I do this at the first of class. But bring your hands down to your belly, your full bellies. When you allow your abdominal muscles to relax, your diaphragm muscle actually contracts and drops down. So take a deep inhale and try to let your belly relax, moving away from your spine. And then don't hug it in as close as you can because you just ate. But as you exhale, maybe hug in a little more. Inhale, feeling it, some expansion away from the spine. And then a little bit of hugging in. Good. Now, slide your hands to your ribs. And you try this later tonight when your belly's not as full. You're still letting the abdominal muscles expand. And when you breathe and the diaphragm contracts, you'll feel the sides of your ribs press out. So you're getting the second third of your lungs. Deep inhale. So when the belly expands, the bottom third fills up of your lungs. And then when you feel the ribs expand, it's filling up the second half or the second third. And your lungs come way up here under your shoulders if you look on the internet at a picture. So bring your hands up here. So you've got this lung container. Deep inhale, let your belly expand, let your ribs expand, and fill all the way to the tip top of your lung container. Good. Yeah, deep inhales and exhales. Now, if you don't do this deep breathing very often, you might get a little lightheaded. You notice yoga teachers sometimes are a little lightheaded. It's all that deep breathing. One more deep inhale. Good. And then bring your hands down. Let's see, what are we missing, Wendy? What's your favorite? Bring your right hand up, pat yourself on the back, and massage your right tricep. So you're stretching your arms, you're stretching your tricep, and if you massage it, your brain will start releasing some endorphins. You might start smiling uncontrollably. Bring your arm forward, swing it across your body, and hug it in. Massage that outer arm and your shoulder, still taking those deep inhales and exhales. Whichever, right, left. It could be your teacher because, my yoga teacher says I need right and left on my britches, so I know what I'm doing. So if I said it wrong, it's me, blame it on me. Massage your other arm. Deep inhales and exhales, sitting nice and strong. Good. Feeling a stretch through your chest there too. Then bring that arm forward, swing it across your body, hug it in, and massage that shoulder. Deep inhales and exhales. Good. And release. Now you're ready for one of my very favorites, eagle arms. So bring your arms forward and cross your right elbow over your left. I'm going to try to be your mirror. And the first krama means step. The first step is to hug yourself. So we did one arm at a time. Now we're doing both arms. Lift up through the elbows. Take a deep breath in between your shoulder blades, like somebody's filling that back space. So you could stay right here, eagle arms 1. If you want to explore a little more, you could bring your arms up. If your elbows come uncrossed, stay right here. There's a lot going on right here, even for me. Eventually, you can wrap the hands around, but there's no hurry to get there. If you get there today, I won't have a job anymore. Lift your elbows up wherever you are. Take a ginormous breath. And as you exhale, you're going to round out. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding out. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Good. Then go ahead and come up, release your arms, do some shoulder rolls. Oh, that feels good. And just take a pause, check in, scan from your feet to the top of your head, take some deep breaths. And then we'll do the other side. Bring your arms forward and cross your left elbow over your right. Give yourself a hug. Eagle arms 1. Lift your elbows up. Does anybody else think, why is this an eagle? Eagle's like this. That's what I thought. So I finally saw one day an eagle, a mama eagle, carrying her food, and she was like this, carrying it. I was like, now I know. So you can hold your eagle food like that, or you can explore. One's not better than the other, and this side may be a totally different story. So listen to your body. Eventually, the hands will wrap. If they're up, bring them away from your face just a little. Good. Take a ginormous inhale. Maybe lift your elbows a little more. And then exhale, round out, stretching the upper spine. Good. Inhale, lifting up, breathing deeply. Exhale, coiling in. One more ginormous breath. And then inhale, reach up, unwind your eagle arms, you're home. You can drop your food and flap your wings. Deep inhales and exhales. Good. And then rest your hands on your lap. You can close your eyes part way or all the way. Check in. Notice how you're feeling. And then go ahead and this one, everybody may look a little different. So your choice. I'll show you if you've got a really tight right hip, you can lean back and cross your leg over like this. If it's not so tight, if you're okay today, you can sit upright like this. If neither of those are working for you, you can just bring your leg over. So if you're in your chair, bend your knee over like this, over to the side. and kind of come on the edge of your foot. And you're stretching those muscles the same way, just not as intensely as the foot up here. Good. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, wave at me. I'm going to come help you. No hurting. It may feel like, oh my gosh, something's stretching up there. Okay. Bring your hand to your foot. So you want to bend your toes back. That helps protect your knee. Then you're going to lift up long through the spine. You can press on your right leg, but don't press on your knee joint. Press more by your hip here so you're not hurting your knee. Lift up long through the spine, and then you're going to reach out and over your leg. And you're looking for a stretch anywhere on that right side. It might be in your gluteus maximus. It might be in the hip, in the leg. Deep inhales and exhales. This is a good place to sigh out through your mouth. We hold a lot of tension in our hips. One more deep inhale. And when you audibly sigh through your mouth, it helps release some of the hip tension. It doesn't seem connected, but it is. Good. And this is called pigeon pose. Go ahead and come back up, uncross your leg. Let your legs windshield wiper. Good. And then cross your left leg over. So this side may be a different story. You may have set up this side, but you may be like, not on this side. So you can lay back. One of my students calls this the put the shoe on stretch. She's like, I do this one every day. So I said, well, just take an extra minute while you're putting your shoe on and stretch. So push your toes back. That's going to help protect your knee. Lift up long through the spine and hinge forward. Good. Deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, reaching forward.
This leg isn't working.
Yeah, why don't we bring this one straight? And just leave it out straight while you cross that one over. See if that works. Is that okay? Okay. A few more deep inhales and exhale. You shouldn't feel this at the knee. You should feel it in your hip, your leg, but never on the knee. If you feel it on the knee, you're torquing your knee a little too much. So no knee pain ever. Good. One more deep inhale. Just observe, is this side different from the other side? Most of us have one side that's more tight than the other side, or that's what I call my stronger side. It's the best stretch for sciatica, yes. So if you have sciatica, yes. I had chronic sciatic pain in my 20s and 30s, and I don't know, I was in fitness, and I don't know why I never learned this stretch. This is, you may feel it all up in here, but it also stretches your piriformis, which is the muscle your sciatic nerve runs through. Yeah, this is a little more accessible. Good, good. Yeah. Right. Good. Okay. Go ahead and uncross your leg. Just remember on that one, you never want to feel it in your knee because you could potentially feel it in your knee and you don't want to feel that. Okay, sit up nice and strong. Let me go through my cheat sheet here and figure out what is most important that we need to work on. Let's do some hip circles and then one more neck stretch. So just make sure your feet are solid on the floor, make sure you're solid in your chair, and just make some circles in one direction. Take some deep inhales and exhales. This one's kind of fun on a Saturday night with your favorite record. Good. Now go the other way. And sometimes in my classes I teach this one with your spine straight, like you're scooping the edges of a mixing bowl. And that works your core a little more. And then sometimes I let my students do that more rounded version. So just depending on how you feel that day. It all feels good to the hips, I think. Good. Now go ahead and bring yourself back up. Shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Press your hands into your legs. Sit up nice and strong. Imagine I have strings on your shoulders. I'm stretching your shoulders nice and wide. And then let your chin float down towards your chest. Roll your right ear towards your right shoulder and take a few deep inhales. Feel yourself still sitting strong through the spine. On the exhale, you might feel your abdominal muscles hug in and help you. And you remember you can press your hands into your legs to wake up your whole core to help you sit up. Now turn your nose towards your right armpit. Take some deep inhales and exhales. Hopefully you remembered your deodorant. And then just a few times roll your ear towards your shoulder and your nose towards your armpit. Just exploring. If you find a tight spot, you can pause and take a few extra breaths. And then let your ear land by your shoulder, like you'll be looking towards me, and make little circles with your nose. And notice, sometimes when my head leans over, I start doing this. So be aware of that. See if you're still sitting strong through the spine, just relaxing your neck. And let your chin float towards your chest. Sit nice and strong through the spine and roll your left ear towards your left shoulder. Press into your hands. Feel that length and strength in your spine. And take a few breaths. Notice if that side is different. And slowly roll your nose towards your left armpit. Take some deep breaths there. You're still pressing into the feet. You're still taking deep breaths. Now rotate your head a few times, ear to shoulder. Deep inhale as you exhale, nose to armpit. And when your ear lands by your shoulder the next time, pause and make little circles with your nose in one direction. Deep, expansive inhales. And be aware, without judgment, if you're tipping over. It happens every day in all of my classes. And then rotate the other direction. So that's part of our practice, is becoming aware. It's kind of like chewing gum and walking and all that. It's like your body's doing one thing, it loses awareness in another place. So the practice is to keep bringing your attention and checking in. Now let your chin float towards your chest. Bring your hands to your forehead and massage your forehead. Press your head up, massage your temples. We have all these muscles in our face that get tense. Open your mouth. A lot of us clench our jaws, and that helps release tension in your jaw. And then bring your hands down, sit up nice and strong. Close your eyes either part way or all the way. And one of my students sent me an email and said, make sure you do this. So I better make sure I do that. Press into your feet and reach your arms up as high as your arms will go today. Every day is different, I know, good. Bring your left hand to your right leg and reach up through the right side, press into your right foot so you're stabilizing that side, and reach over and away. Good. So your right leg's like your anchor, and think about reaching up more than you reach over. Good. And then inhale, reach up, release your arm down. So my student emailed, and he said they need to bring the arm up and stretch there. He's an MS student. He's not here. So reach both arms up so I don't get in trouble with Bob. Bring your right hand to your left leg. Good. So now that left leg's your anchor, your left hip's your anchor. Reach up and then reach over. But keep checking in. Keep pressing the left foot down. Reach up always more than you reach over. Feel that stretch all the way from the hip up through the rib cage. One more deep inhale. Then come up and down. Good. Do some shoulder rolls. And then your choice. I'll let you sit up nice and strong for the last few minutes. If you're like, I have had enough, have a break. Lean back. You deserve a break today. No judgment either way. And just focus your attention on your breath. And I don't know who's been going to yoga classes. They teach a breath called Nadi Shodhana breathing, where they do this with their hands. But I work with veterans as well, and some of my veterans don't have hands. And this can be irritating to some people, trying to coordinate the hands and the breath. So one of my veteran teachers taught me to do the alternate nostril breathing without the hands. So you're gonna observe the breath as you're breathing in and out. You'll feel it moving through both sides, but you're going to focus your brain on the side I'm telling you to focus on. Even though you'll say, well, I feel it on the other side, you're focusing your attention on the side we're talking about. And if you don't understand me, just keep breathing. Okay. So close your eyes either all the way or part way and take a deep inhale, sigh out through your mouth. Then close your lips, and as you inhale, observe the breath moving in through your left nostril. And as you exhale, observe the breath moving through your right nostril. And then reversing, inhale, observe through the right. Exhale, observe the breath as it moves through the left. Deep inhale through the left. You can move at your own pace. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Moving at your own pace. If you get confused, just breathe through both nostrils. But this breath is called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. It's also a cooling breath, so I thought you might want a cooling breath. And then the next time you exhale out through your left nostril, blink your eyes open. And I'll show you one more cooling breath. You can curl your tongue like this, or purse your lips like you're sucking through a straw. And I'll show you, we'll do it out first. So bring your hand in front of you and go, so like that's warm air, like you're fogging a mirror. And then either curl your tongue or purse your lips and blow. And feel how it cools. So you can do the same thing when the air moving inward. You can purse your lips like you're sucking through a straw. And if you watch me get in my car this summer, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing those cooling breaths. Good. Okay, so you get 2 cooling breaths for summer. Okay, close your eyes. I think time is about up. And just take a few breaths, scan your body. And bring your left hand to your heart. And your right hand over your left hand. Take a few deep breaths. Thank yourself for taking this time to practice yoga today. Thank yourself for taking this time to take care of your body. Knowing that when we take care of ourselves, that we're really helping everyone around us and serving everyone in our life more. So think of one person that you can devote your practice to this last moment of class. And send the strength, the flexibility, this deep breathing to them in this very moment. And I thank you so much for being here today and for taking care of yourself. Namaste. Good job. You're welcome. And I've got 3 regular students here, so if you have any questions, I'm not always this nice. I am.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you. Oh, one more thing.
Sure.
If you go out front, Maria, has sign-up sheets, registration forms for all. So I have 2 classes a week that are listed on your handouts. And then my friend Katie has a class, and there may be more that I'm not thinking of. But if you want to sign up for any of our classes, you can pre-register now. You don't have to come next week. You can come in a month. But you can get your paperwork out of the way now. That way, when you do decide you want to go to class, it's already done. Okay? Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have blocks, she'll come around and grab them from you.